Oh.
All right, I'm calling this meeting to order at 7:33 PM. Please rise and join me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Clerk Jones, please perform the roll call. Supervisor Klein, here. Trustee Tyson? Here. Trustee Glowiak? Here. Trustee Klein? Absent. Trustee Mueller?
Here.
Assessor Darata? Here. Commissioner Benton? Tax collector Kopchok? Here. And Clerk Jones here. All right. Before moving on to tonight's agenda, I just want to briefly address the special meeting of electors that was scheduled for Monday, March 9th. So on Sunday, March 8th, it actually came to my attention that the posting requirements for the meeting had not been fully satisfied. While the notice did run in the newspaper on time, it is my understanding that it may not have been posted in the required number of public places. So out of an abundance of caution and to ensure that we fully comply with the law and maintain transparency with our residents, the meeting was not held as scheduled. I apologize for the inconvenience this may have caused. I appreciate everyone's patience as we work to make sure the proper procedures are followed going forward. Our goal is always to conduct township business in a way that is transparent and lawful. Thank you. Next up, public comment. Invite anybody to speak on any issue on the agenda regarding township business. You are limited to 1 3-minute comment per person. Yes.
Hi, thank you for your opportunity to speak. My name is Chuck Mayer. I'm a resident here in Wheatland Township. I've also been a Will County board member and have been involved in this community for a very long time. Your use of the word transparent is laughable in the fact that 2 of your own board members didn't even know that you were canceling it, that the information about the meeting was very neglected, any reason to why you were even doing it, that it smells of the fact that you found out that there was a large group of people that were going to be there that were not going to be supporting you, and you couldn't deal with that because we're really, now that we've kind of found out, and I'd love to hear what you have to say, we think that you're looking for a mental health building. I think that the record should show that you guys need to take care of the business of the township first. Don't go in and expand government with dollars that are not in perpetuity, that don't have the ability to keep going on to provide service in mental health that I know one of your gentlemen on the board has a lot of experience in. But if you go in and have a building somewhere and you hadn't even done your research to show the data, we're having a real problem here. The other thing is there's so many mental health programs out there that if you have some additional dollars, I'd love to talk with you about how you can work with some of the schools, with some of the truancy programs, because as a LCPC myself, actually helped write the legislation for the counseling and chaired the regulatory board that actually have now put thousands of counselors to work in this state. There's other things that you could be doing with that money rather than expanding government. Because as you go in and expand government, you increase taxes, you go in and put up and set up systems that might not be sustainable. And there's other ways to approach this. And when you use the word transparent, this notice is anything but transparent for what you were trying to accomplish. And the fact that you canceled this thing at the last minute, yes, you found out that you screwed up. How many other times are you screwing up? Because you guys are doing this in isolation, without talking with people, without having legal representation helping you. When I was on the county board, we had the state's attorney sitting there telling us all the things we could and couldn't do. You guys just sit here and make this shit up as you go. And eventually it's going to come back to bite you and the taxpayers of this community. So yes, you may have screwed up, you may have found out, but how many other screw ups are you doing?
That's 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to address this board.
Absolutely.
Is it fair to ask folks not to swear?
You can,
Oh, I apologize.
Anything else?
You was gonna go?
Yeah, sorry, we didn't get together, so there's gonna be some overlap on this, and obviously I didn't know what you were gonna say. Good evening, I'm here tonight to address two issues, Brenda Morse, by the way. First, the special meeting that was scheduled and then canceled approximately 2 hours before it was supposed to begin without any explanation to the residents of Wheatland Township. Second, the lack of transparency and follow-up from Michael Crowner, who serves as a leader of this board. Calling a special meeting and providing only vague, generic information about its purpose is an insult to the residents you represent. If the township is considering purchasing land, residents deserve to know the basics. Why the purchase is being proposed, how much it will cost, whether taxpayer dollars are being used, and what analysis led to this decision. Let me remind you, Michael, that when the previous assessor requested $30,000 to help fund staff so the office could meet its workload demands, you argued that the funding was unnecessary. You stated that you had done your research and that the office's $300,000 budget was sufficient. Based on that claim, you denied her request. So I have to ask, where is the research now? Where is the data showing that Wheatland Township needs a mental health clinic? Who will be paying for it? Who is it intended to serve? And where is the $65,000 coming from to fund a counselor, as was mentioned in last month's meeting? If residents are being asked to support a proposal like this, providing basic information should be the bare minimum. On March 1st, I emailed Michael Crowner with these questions. They were straightforward questions, and I simply wanted to understand what the board was asking residents to support. As of tonight, I have not received a response. Unfortunately, a lack of response or responses that come long after they are needed has become a pattern with this board. I've come to expect it, and I don't anticipate it changing. But what should concern every resident is the way the special meeting was handled. Canceling a meeting like that with no explanation shows a level of disregard for the residents of Wheatland Township. And it raises a simple question. If this is how the board handles matters in public view, what else might residents not be seeing? Thank you.
thank you.
It's my show. Todd Morris. Terry, I know that you're the one currently handling all the FOIA requests. Don't assume that because there's communications between somebody and somebody on the board that got handled, you missed a date. Dates are there for a reason. You guys always push it to the last limit. You wait until the 5th hour till you give an answer. What happened to transparency? You guys keep bringing up this transparency, but simple questions that can be answered in a day or two. You're waiting until the last hour on the 5th day to give a response. Don't assume anything. You start missing your stuff, you keep it up. We're gonna be filing stuff against you. I'm sure you don't want that. I know your mom's history is not real good here at the county. We don't need to start it here at the township as well. But we can, if that's where you wanna go. Thank you.
No, inappropriate.
Completely inappropriate.
Yes,
My understanding on the same topic, if I could beg the board to indulge and keep up a little bit, you know, how this all came about. Is this gonna happen later on in the meeting? Are you gonna talk about it at all?
I'm sorry, what are your?
About this mental health issue?
Yes,
And you established a mental health committee,
yes.
and I don't see any, you know, who's on it or what's going on with that, but I'm with the rest of these people, you know, there's mission creep going on.
And what's your name, sir?
I'm sorry, my name is Chris Sterl. I've been a 25-year resident. I'm also.
What was your name? I didn't hear you.
Richard.
Richard,
Sternal.
thank you.
And I'm a Wheatland PC7 Republic side, of course, but, you know, we're fighting, we're getting hit by little bits of everybody. Park District is raising their taxes. Yeah, I'm sure everyone else is raising their taxes a little bit, and, you know, when I moved here in 2000, I was paying $7,500 a year for my taxes. Now they're almost 14. It's equal to my mortgage, for crying out loud. So this little item that you have on here, all I see is like what was briefly mentioned, is that eventually it's gonna come down that you can't support it anymore. You have a building now, land that you have. and you're trying to promote more, and it's just gonna end up costing the taxpayer more money for something that's receptive, you know, they can get the services in many areas, as Chuck mentioned. So I'd be very interested about how this, you got the grant from the county, I take it, is that what it was?
I'll be discussing it later today.
Yeah, they don't have the
Okay.
question.
All right, but I just want, I'm opposing this whole thing too, it's from that matter.
Understood.
I think you guys have to really think twice about what's going on with the taxpayer out there. I mean, you guys get hit with these taxes and stuff, and property taxes, right? We can't keep on raising these taxes, you know, and keep on, you're stabbing us, you know, a little bit at a time. We only can take so much. I'm about ready to retire and go on to fixed income, so, well, there you go. Thank you for your indulgence.
Thank you for your comment.
Well, Alton, I'm Jill's distress again, fairly new to all this, but I can tell you, I was watching the website very closely. Because Brenda told me about the meeting and I said, are you sure it's even happening? Because the website calendar events had nothing, not one thing. And the first I saw, because I'm pretty sure I checked earlier that Monday, there was nothing on it at all. And later that day, after the meeting was canceled, then the meeting was showing up as having been canceled, which seems a little sketchy to me. Just gonna say.
Thank you. Any additional comment? Going once, twice. Okay, hearing none, moving on to the next item on the agenda, approval of minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the February 12th, 2026 regular board meeting minutes?
Motion, Mueller.
Second. No, the minutes were distributed. Any comments on the minutes before we move on to roll call? Okay, hearing none, roll call please.
Supervisor Kraus?
Yes.
Trustee Tyson?
Yes.
Klein, absent. Trustee Glowiak?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you. Next item on the agenda, under new business, approval of the annual town meeting agenda. Can I get a motion to approve? There are some errors.
Yeah, there are some errors that we're gonna make corrections on.
Yep.
Do we need to talk about those?
I'll open up the approval process, we amended.
Okay, oh, right, thank you. Okay,
So
second.
All right, thank you. So this is, the item on the agenda. Most of it is pretty straightforward. And this is templated from last year, so apologies, there's gonna be a couple areas we have to correct. But the items that I just want to point attention to before we correct errors are under new business. These will be the primary objectives for the discussion of in the meeting. New business item number 1 would be delegating the authority. Well, so this is regarding the meeting that was postponed. So item number 1 is delegating the authority of the township board to lease property for a period of 12 months. I know there's confusion about sale, purchase and whatnot, so I made sure to be very clear. This is with regards to leasing property for a period of 12 months. Item number 1. Item number 2, under new business that is not, typical, is approval of an advisory question. We did have residents submit a petition with request to put an item on an advisory ballot for the November 2026 general election. I will read out that item right now. They did satisfy the minimum signature requirements to put it on. So just give me one moment, I'll bring it back up. Call the name of it. No, Matt, I just responded to it, right? Agenda. Sorry, bear with me one moment. I'm trying to bring the question back up. Oh, here, petition submission. Okay. So, a resident alongside 10, 20, 30, about 40 signatures submitted a petition asking that the following advisory question of public policy be placed on the ballot for submission to the voters in the township of Wheatland in Will County in the state of Illinois for the November 3rd, 2026 election. Shall individuals and businesses in Wheatland Township be allowed to boycott and divest from the state of Israel? So, since they met the minimum requirements, we are required to put that on the annual town meeting agenda. We'll discuss it then. I'm not sure that this is necessarily a public policy just because it refers to individuals and businesses and there's no policy here. So that,
Repeat the question. again,
yeah,
sorry.
it says shall individuals and businesses in Wheatland Township be allowed to boycott and divest from the state of Israel? So that is a question as it was presented. Exactly. So it's not a matter of public policy, so I'm not sure that we'll have that discussion at the annual meeting. But we have to put that on the agenda just because that is the ballots were submitted appropriately, the petition. But I do not believe as worded, that would be a matter of public policy. And then the other item on the agenda would just be setting the time for the following year. So before we go on to approval of this agenda, I am going to motion to make 3 corrections. One, it's setting the time for the April 13th, 2027 annual town meeting. The second is that we are going to be changing the second public place for notice from the YMCA to the fire department. And which one were you thinking? The 95th Street?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
All right, fire department, and then the third correction is changing it from Township Clerk Anita Liskey to Township Clerk Terry Jones. Can I get a second on those amendments to the agenda as presented?
Second? The second?
Yeah, I motioned.
Okay, I'll second.
All right, roll call on the amendment, and then we'll do I'm sorry, before that, any additional amendments or changes, corrections that I need to make? I think that covered all of it. Okay. Roll call on the amendment corrections, yeah. Especially if we're changing location.
Supervisor Power,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Klein's absent, trustee Glowiak,
Yes.
trustee Mueller,
Yes,
passes.
Okay, thank you. And then any final comments before we do a final approval? Okay, hearing none, roll call please.
Supervisor Brown,
Yes.
trustee Tyson,
Yes.
trustee Glowiak,
Yes.
trustee Mueller,
yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is just a discussion. It's not an approval of any items. It's just regarding the fiscal year 26 to 27 budget. So a couple of things that I just want to let you all know. I just got a first draft of budget late this afternoon from our accountant, who's kind of doing our trend analysis and just kind of understanding our cost needs. So we don't have anything to present just yet, but just a couple of things that I just wanted to point out. One is per Assessor Darata's request, we're gonna make sure that he has the ability to hire that full-time field agent. He and I had a discussion about that couple months, February maybe. We had a good discussion about it and about the needs of the assessor's office, so we're gonna make sure that that's covered. The other thing, and I guess this would be the appropriate time to bring it up, with regards to mental health services. So our mental health services that we're, just as a reminder for the board, the mental health services that we're looking for are mental health services that would be, primarily funded through grant initiatives. So for example, we have an application sitting, in front of the, Will County Mental Health Board right now, for, support for those services. So it's not an additional tax levy within Wheatland Township. It's making sure that the taxes that we pay into Will County, and we're doing our job to make sure we're advocating and getting them back into Wheatland Township as well. So that's a big piece. I know earlier it was brought up, the cost of a counselor. Again, that cost of the counselor, would be taken care of by that grant. That was one of the purposes of the grant. So again, not an additional tax levy. It's a levy that we already pay into. We of any township in Will County pay more to the county for our taxes than any other township. And so I want to make sure we're doing our best to advocate for those resources and that they're coming back to our township as well. So with that being said, when this budget is presented in April for an initial approval to hang, that will occur right after the annual town meeting at our regular board meeting, which takes place immediately after. And by then we'll actually know whether we have the that initial grant that was applied for the Will County Mental Health Board. So we'll be able to budget that in if that's gonna be the direction that we're able to take. And then as I mentioned in the previous board meetings, are any additional space that we were to lease on behalf of the township is conditional on the ability to secure those funds from, you know, various entities so that we're not, again, raising the taxes to supply these services. Any questions on that before? No? Okay.
So when it comes to,
Yes.
the money that you're talking about, that'll probably come from Will County,
Correct.
Board of Will County. Is that like annually you have to?
Yeah, so
Annually you have to discuss how much money you're gonna get?
that is correct. Yeah, so it would be something that we would be bringing before the Will County Mental Health Board on an annual basis. But one of the things that we're looking to do is continue to apply for grants outside of that Will County Board. There's numerous grants at the state and regional levels that we're looking at, and so I want this to essentially be like, we'll call it like the seed money, right, for this grant. Or sorry, for this program, and it allows us to kind of continue to build out proof of concept so that we can go out there and continue to advocate for additional grants, whether it be from our state legislators or from grants directly from the state, like the Department of Human Services or Illinois Department of Public Health. So as a public entity, we are eligible for a lot of the grant funding. And so I think the lowest barrier to entry would be with the Will County Mental Health Board. And so that's what I'm, you know, kind of relying on. But again, if those funds don't come forward, or if they deny our request for funding for mental health services, then there would be no need for leasing additional office at this time.
Thank you.
And then any is there any additional updates or requests from your office as necessary since the January presentation?
No, I was just, what I wanted to guess understand is the timing of it. I got,
Yes.
we've had Ray Hendricks has been here
Yes.
since last June,
Mhm.
so can I offer him a
Yeah.
full-time job anytime now?
Well, we'll talk about specific, we'll talk about specific, yes, we'll talk about that right immediately after this meeting.
Okay. Yeah, I don't.
I just don't wanna bring in specific names onto
Oh, I'm
record
sorry.
or anything like that,
Okay.
that's all.
That's fine.
Okay.
No, I don't have any other requests at this
Okay.
moment.
Sounds good, thank you. All right, any additional questions or comments on the budget before we move on to bills and claims? No motion, because there's no action. Hold simply discussion, okay, moving on, can I get a motion to approve the town and road district fund bills and claims?
A motion, Mueller.
A second, please.
Second.
Any
Go ahead.
questions or any questions on the bills? Okay, hearing none, roll call please.
Supervisor Crown,
Yes.
Trustee Tyson,
Yes.
Trustee Glowiak,
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Alright, thank you. Everybody please remember to sign the
Sign
bill
the
sheet.
things.
Alright. Next up, reports, Senior Administrator Bill Grady.
What everybody's kind of been asking me about is passports. We've been doing 6 or 7 a week. It continues to rise. We've been doing with it being winter. We've been doing Saturday mornings. I've been coming in on Saturday mornings and doing.
Oh,
That's
that's good.
I'm not-
That's nice.
I gotta get out of the house or my wife will give me something to do. so we are doing fairly well with the passports. People are coming in. I already set up for 5 of them next week. And so it's doing well. As things went around, and it's the only time I really get to talk on the record is the other day when I had missed the one the extra meeting place where something should be, and I still think that it might not be completely correct. I mean, as far as if we may have been actually okay to do it, there's other places that say that anyway, but whatever. I really don't want to get all into that as much as it still kind of gets me. So, but I did try to reach out to all of you with your emails or your Wheatland Township emails. If you're not getting your Wheatland Township emails, you need to find out what it is and access it, because I sent everybody a message. I did send at least one person, if not two, of the general public, letting them know that the meeting was canceled. Other than that, thanks for giving me back you. Because that's what all my notes were. So anyway, so that's I'm good now.
All right, thank you, Bill. Any questions for Bill before we move on?
Now, on Saturday, all passports have to be pre-scheduled. They just can't walk in off the street, correct?
You're right. I'm not gonna come in and hang out. So I start when somebody calls in, I start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then I just do them hourly until nobody else is calling. And then when I'm usually leaving here about 11:30, because I do some other stuff as well. But if somebody were to say, hey, I wanna just come and see you at 4 o'clock on Saturday, we're probably not gonna do that at the present time if we had other people, but you can't spend the entire day until.
Well, you gotta have hours.
Yeah.
And we're only required to have them Monday through Friday.
Well, I'm glad you
but-
did some Saturdays.
Saturdays are appreciative according to the passport agency, so.
Thank you.
And it helps people too, especially the ones that they can't get out of work to go do it.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, Assessor Bruce Darata.
Does this room have the heated floors too?
Yeah.
Gosh, it's hot.
It is.
It was 82 in my office the other day.
Oh, a little more sweaters.
Right.
Anyway, just,
Get out your summer clothes.
yeah, exactly, with my tank top looks nice. Monthly activity summary for the assessor's office. We entered sales data and research primary residence status for each sale due to P-TEX documents no longer being completed correctly. Continue to review 2024 permits in the aerial software to measure and document home improvements, including patios, decks, in-ground pools, additions, and other structural changes. Entered 330 permits from all 5 municipalities, including single-family homes and home improvement projects. Continued processing new work from the Will County Mapping Department, including new PIN numbers, subdivisions, and divisions as they are coming in. Continuing assessing taxpayers with exemption applications, ensuring they are completed correctly, completing certificates of errors for them if needed, and submitted to Will County. Of course, answered phone calls, responded to emails, voicemails, and website inquiries. And kind of what we were talking about earlier, the field agent activity has been really good. We've completed 216 field visits. Removed 586 properties from developers relief status and started assessing new construction properties.
Perfect. Just my only fear that I'm gonna ask you every month until we get there, how are we doing towards that June deadline, or we're?
Oh, we're gonna get it done. I mean,
Okay,
it's not, we're not gonna let that go. It's actually good for me because I'm learning the the database system.
Yeah.
And so I'm entering them myself, a lot of them, but we're gonna get that for sure.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any questions for Assessor Darata before we move on? All right. Tax collector, thank you, Bruce. Tax collector Jim Kopchok.
We're continuing to be busy. We've had 2 burials this past month and 3 sales, which puts us year to date about half of what we did all of last year. So obviously, we don't plan for these things, but it's been surprising, kind of picking up the phone. Did $9,600 in revenue just last month. We have 3 burials that I know that I hate to put it this way, on the books.
Yeah.
We're waiting to hear back from the family, so it's been kind of a busy time. In checking with the cemetery committee, we've been trying to assess whether or not we need to do some heavy maintenance on the roads going into the cemetery. Been working with the highway people and getting quotes and some understanding what our costs can be and what we feel is appropriate. So we're trying to work out in our minds how it's gonna fit into our budget. It certainly won't be covered out of current expenses, so whether we're gonna dig into some of the money that we've accumulated, of course, is another question. We are continuing to process these new maps, which I'm very proud of. It's our new system. We're on our third revision. So this is working out real well. We've been able to do a lot of revisions and it's helped quite a bit with people identifying new plots. It makes the whole sales process much smoother and more reliable, because that's been a heavy question weighing on my mind ever since we started. We did meet and decide on some new pricing. I mentioned this at the last board meeting. So we simplified the price list as well as raised some prices in accordance with the new charges that we were being handled by the cemetery management, which is a company that does our grave digging. John Reynolds has been with us. It does 39 cemeteries in the area, so he's well known, very reliable. And of course, we didn't want to change vendors in the middle of the stream. But we were having some sales that we were actually going through at a loss, which wasn't good. So we needed to make some revisions. And so we all sat down and started to take a look at what our price list looked like and simplified it and made it much simpler to follow. That's about it. Continue to work, try to maintain the cemetery as well as we can. Obviously, spring is coming up and now other things will arise with respect to maintenance as well. Any questions?
No. All right, thank you, Jim. Highway Commissioner Benton, did he submit a report?
Not to me, no.
Okay. Trustee Glowiak.
All right, I want to begin again by extending an apology to the public for Monday's last minute cancellation with that. And thank you, Michael, for speaking today to the numbers with the lease of the clinic and how that would look if everything goes through with the grant. I give some specific updates as to where we're at with the grant we received last year, which is the $32,000 grant. Currently, we're conducting a series of focus groups over the next month before students leave for the summer. Our current pilot concept is to work with students and families from JFK, Indian Trail Middle School, Plainfield Academy, and Plainfield East High School. We're beginning to identify students and families from these schools who would be willing to participate in the focus groups. District 202 is also conducting a family needs assessment, though we're also developing an anonymous use survey focused on risk behavior and access to opioid and tobacco-related substances to have something that's going to be completely appropriate for the schools. Additionally, on top of that, and to some of the points that we had discussed previously in the week as well, doing some further needs assessments for the actual counties. So we've been taking a look at the different reports from Will and DuPage counties and want to put something thoughtful together for that here as well. Otherwise, we did submit the proposals we were talking about as well to the 708 board for another grant, and seems like things are moving in a positive direction as we receive some additional follow-up questions. Usually that's a good thing there, so we'll be hopeful that everything comes together with that. And then on Wednesday, March 18th, so it would be next Wednesday at noon, we're gonna do the mental health committee meeting. So it'll be like the very first one, more of an introductory type of discussion, seeing who's interested in that, kind of having a meeting of the minds, if you will, and talking about what our intentions are for that.
Excellent.
So yeah, for now.
Any questions for Trustee Glowiak? All right, hearing none. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Trustee Jeff Klein sent his regrets that he wouldn't be able to attend this evening. Trustee Mueller.
Not much to report on. I've been really drumming up the passport renewals. I've been trying to encourage my neighbors to go get your passports renewed, because a lot of folks don't realize they're expiring and things like that. So, and they're really, I was really surprised at how many folks were excited to, we don't have to go to the post office. I'm like, no, the township building's right down there. Give a call, Bill will set you up. So I'm really glad to hear that it's picking up and that more people are coming, and I'm sure they appreciate being there sometimes on Saturdays. I'd love to get more information about the meeting that you're gonna have, because that mental health board in Will County, I felt really strongly supporting that when I was on the county board. So I'm glad I get to see part of it come to fruition for our community. So I really wanna, make sure I am involved in those meetings or know when they are. You know, I work full-time outside of the area, so it's not always easy to get here, but I can usually adjust working from home on certain days so
This
that I
one's
can
good.
be around.
I'm gonna try to be here physically with Angel, and then there's gonna be a virtual option, and I
Cool.
was told it would be posted, so, yeah.
Virtual options are great.
That's how
It makes
my
it,
life.
well, I feel bad because I'm trying to get here and it's, if I have an hour of a drive, I don't always get to the stuff on time, so. But, that's it, thanks.
All right, any questions for trustee Mueller? Hearing none, thank you, Meta. Trustee Margaret Tyson.
Where did all you U of I people just go? Do you have the victors?
Oh.
Sorry.
Sorry.
One of them.
Sorry.
That's all right, Mr. Wayne.
Thank you. The senior committee, we're gonna meet again the first Wednesday of April. We're gonna have our first meeting of the year on April the 15th at the Alleluia Lutheran Church, which is down the street. We used to enter from the front, but part of that building, they're leasing to another company. So now they're gonna let us lease the back end of the church, which is fine. Doesn't cost us anything. So we just park in the back, just one step as opposed to 6 or 7 steps. So there's less steps for the seniors. That's even better.
Yeah,
So that's what we're gonna do. And we're gonna have a guest speaker. She's a horticulture.
horticulture.
Thank you. And she's gonna speak on plants. So she's gonna be our first speaker.
Oh, what's lunch?
Oh, yeah, we did pick lunch. I think we picked,
Great 4-H program.
Yeah, right?
I think we picked I forgot.
That's okay.
Was it doggy diner? No.
No, we picked, we did, since we have speakers for April, May and June, we pick lunch for all 3 months.
Yeah.
We're ahead of the game.
All right,
Well, actually, I have it right here. I do have my notes for that. Sorry. I don't. Well, there she is. No, that's different. No, I don't have it.
all right, no problem.
That's okay.
Thank you, though. Any questions for trustee Tyson before we move on?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh,
Doggy Diner in April,
Oh, thanks.
McAllister in May, and Popeyes in June.
there we go. All popular options every year.
Right.
Yes, they are. So you're picking June, you're coming to see us in June, okay. And we wanna know when can we slate you?
How many people are you getting at the senior meeting?
Well, we moved to a different space, so I think that might determine whether our numbers go up or down, because they gave us 2 options at the church. There's a room, that church has a lot of rooms. They have a room with seating for like an auditorium,
Oh,
for a stage, for a speaker. And then they have pool tables in the back, so you can play in the back and sit in chairs and watch your speaker. So she said we could use either one. So we have options.
But you get, how many people do you know?
Well, in the past, we've had, depending on the speaker, in the past, we had maybe 30, 40 people.
That's nice for.
Yeah. And lunch is $5. We pick up the difference. And like I said, the venue is free.
Perfect.
So that's the one
Nice.
right there.
yeah, nice they do that.
Any additional questions for trustee Tyson?
Oh, and I also worked on the health board when I was on the county board,
So,
so I know some of the people.
good.
So include me in-
County board members, we guess.
All right, thank you, Margaret. Clerk Jones.
3 FOIAs this past, since last board meeting, and 2 are open, 1 closed.
2 are open, 1 closed. Any questions for Clerk Jones? All right, hearing none, the only thing that I just want to remind folks is that Tuesday, March 17th is primary day, so please make sure you exercise your right to vote. With
Do your
that,
civic duty.
yes, and then just on the agenda at the bottom, this doesn't need a formal correction because we put it on the other one, but it does say next board meeting, annual town meeting at 7:30, and it is at 7, so please make sure we're all here at 7. All right.
Annual town meetings at 7?
The annual town meeting's at 7, and then we will start our monthly regular board meeting at either 7:30 or if the town meeting runs over immediately
It's
after.
done,
What's that?
whenever it's done.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay, I will then entertain a motion to adjourn. You all wanna say?
So moved.
Second.
All right, we'll do this by voice vote. All in favor, please say aye. Opposed, abstentions, meeting concludes at 8:12 PM. Thank you all. Have a great evening.
So do you mind if I ask